Okay, why don't you call the roll, Victoria?
All right, for Council on Aging, when you are here, say here. Karen Schultz?
Here.
Kate Bliss?
Here.
Rachel Boyer, not here. Lori Fearbay, not here. Wes Durant, not here. Pat Wheeler?
Here.
And Bob Blair?
Here.
Okay.
Just gonna get a pen.
Okie doke. All right. So going off of the old agenda, I believe our last meeting was the end of May. Our last meeting was on May 31st, exactly. Just so if you guys wanted to make a motion for the minutes.
Oh.
Do we hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to
I
approve
make a
the
motion
minute.
we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All right.
All those in favor, let's see. Hang on one sec. Lori Fairbay's not here, and so Karen's here, Kate's here, Pat's here, I'm here. Is that the total?
Yes, sir.
And Victoria.
Yeah, I'm just talking board members. All right. All those in favor, Karen Schultz?
Aye.
Kate Bliss?
Aye.
Pat Wheeler?
Aye.
Pat Wheeler. Bob Blair? Aye. Unanimously approved. Why don't we look to the, let's go back to that thing. Back to the treasurer's report.
Okay, so since we didn't meet last month, I'll just give you guys a general how we did for end of fiscal year 22. We did have enough money to cover expenses for fiscal year 22 without needing to go into any the Elder Services Grant Fund or the donations account. We had a whopping $57 left, so we did a good job.
So that was without going into what? The elder?
The Elder Services Grant money or the donations fund. So we were able, just with the expense money that was budgeted with the town, we did have enough money to meet all of our expenses. Just to give you guys a heads up for this year, we did get an increase, a slight increase for expenses. It went up about slightly less, I believe, than slightly less than $2,000. So our new expenses total is $14,186. If and, for any reason
that covers what? Gas,
everything,
for the vehicle,
everything. So minus wages, minus wages. That's it.
Right.
So that's the new amount for the expense account.
Yes. So if we needed to, because I did check with June and Amy last year when we weren't sure how the expenses were going to go, we can designate that certain bills or expenses go be paid from either that Elder Services grant money or from the donations account if we ever needed to. So if we wanted to expand, or if there was, like I said, something that comes up and we needed to do that, we have that ability to do so. Okay. As of this month so far, we have $200 in donations. Part-time driver wages are $1,966.86. And then my wages are $1,935.18. And we haven't got any bills in yet. So there's technically no expenses, though that will probably change at the end of week.
All right. So that's, well, that's our treasurer's report. Do we want to vote to approve it? Let's. All those in favor, Karen Schultz?
Aye.
Kate Bliss?
Aye.
Pat Wheeler?
Aye.
Bob Blair, aye. Unanimously approved.
Just to give you guys a heads up, as gas is going down, yay. But just to give you guys a heads up, and I know we'll talk about this with Powder House, postage has gone up again.
Ah,
We're looking now at, it's now gonna be $375.21 is what I'm estimating. So
From
it's
what?
from $335.40. So it's another $40.
$335.40.
Yeah. So we're looking at another $40 a pop more for each round of Powder House that we get out. I suspect what we can do is, because we are planning on transitioning over to Clinton offset come next year, when we solicit for advertising, we may be able to also ask for, the additional sponsorship potentially also to help us cover some of the costs for the postage. We can ask, at least when we approach these companies.
Can you give me those numbers again? It's up to what?
The new postage
371.21.
amount, I believe, is going to be $375.21.
375. Okay.
Yeah. So it's up $40.
Okay, I wrote that. I wrote 325, so I don't know why.
That's okay.
So that's up 40, but that's $240 for the year. So that's not a killer.
It's not. It's
Killer
just, but
burden.
again, our budget increase was about $1,200. So, and again, this was again budgeted when gas was far cheaper. So it's just something to keep in mind as well.
There goes the popcorn at our meetings. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you heard any more about Clinton offset?
As of right now, we are still good to go to start with them come next year, calendar year. They would then be in charge of our March, April issue, because our last issue, hold on, I've just lost Pat. But our last issue with Powder House with LPI would be through, it's going to be posted for December, and it will then go January, February. That issue will be the last one that LPI does.
But I'm referring to the printer at Clinton offset, because he was sick, had a pretty serious health issue. Is that, you know anything about that at this point?
So last I spoke to them, I asked and I said, we had heard about a family member being sick. Are you still going to be able to accommodate us? And I was assured yes.
Okay. Do we know how that family member is doing?
I can call and ask.
Yeah, I can, since I've dealt with him personally. Nice guy. I just hate to see him. We should send him a card or something. Say, chin up. Yeah, man, there's so much nonsense health-wise going on.
I lost Pat's call, and I've been trying to call her back, and all I'm getting is busy signal. Somebody.
What number? Trainer?
Yeah.
Which number are you using for her though?
The home number.
Okay.
Okay, so as far as we know, Clinton offset's going to be our printer for next March, April.
Yes,
starting March, April. Yeah. All right, and we
Karen.
I can't. No, she's not even ringing though. It's the strange thing. Oh wait, she's ringing.
Okay.
Is Chris Keefe on our meeting today?
No, not currently.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Just ringing.
Okay.
Maybe we bored her. She doesn't want to.
We
can't. Oh, anyone who was speaking.
Yeah, she didn't answer. Anyone have her cell number? I have it somewhere.
I'm gonna try it. See if I can get her.
Okay.
Come on, phone, behave yourself. What's going on here?
I only have her home number.
Oh, she picked up and then it dropped.
So it's got to be her, because when I tried to call her, it wouldn't act like it was ringing for a few seconds.
Okay.
So we had phone and internet issues intermittently at 19 Carter yesterday morning and this morning. So
and I know
going on somewhere.
And I know that sometimes like even like the wind, because I've been hearing some gusts every now and then, it screws up the lines.
Isn't that Mariah?
I have a sister-in-law, Mariah. She gets that all the time.
They call the wind Mariah. All right. So we have the Powder House news coming up. Do we have suggestions for content in the coming issue?
I sent Lori an email of some stuff that's coming up, and I did ask Abby Vienna, who's the receptionist over for public safety, to do a bio, because I figured we haven't asked her yet, and she's going to be public safety head. No, it just drops with Pat.
And we have now selected a new town administrator, have we not?
I know an offer is out. I don't know if she's formally accepted.
Okay, so that's an iffy.
Was that discussed at the meeting or?
Last week, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a meeting last night.
There was. I don't know if she's, last I heard, I hadn't got any updates that she had formally accepted yet. So because there's a process, I guess. So
I'm sure.
I think they're in process of doing what needs to be done.
So is Margaret done now?
So Margaret has formally retired as TA for the town. I believe that she, if she so chooses, may volunteer and or do some extreme part-time stuff, like to help June out, because June is now acting town administrator until a new TA is formally hired. And then I think, but at this point, I know Margaret's currently away anyway, so we haven't had any communication with her since she left.
Is Amy doing all the accounting stuff then?
It's split between them. June is unfortunately, like I said, getting the brunt of it still. So, because with the end of fiscal year, it was
Okay, so Abby Vienna is what? Her title?
She is she's the public safety office administrator, office assistant.
Can you spell that?
She's Abby or Abigail, and then Vienna is VIANNA.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, so she handles both sides of it, and she's your first contact when you go into the public safety.
So that's one, and one bio that I've put off for a while, but have been wanting to get in and have not, is Evie, because she's certainly a mover and shaker in town, and we haven't done a bio on her. So I think that might be a good one.
I can talk to her tomorrow if you want. Is that why you called her today, Bob?
No, that was about something entirely different.
Okay.
Oh, this is brilliant. I'm sitting here with my...
You lost your video, sir. I don't know what happened.
Was it something we said?
I'm sitting here looking at my iPad and it says low battery, and I've got the cord sitting over there. And did I plug it in? No. Okay, now. There we go. No, cat. Don't chew on the cord. Very helpful here.
Well, 19 Carter is going to send over scheduling stuff for Powder House News, but somehow, even though we sent over a PDF of our weekly schedule, something got messed up with the hours. I don't know when Lori put it in.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
The
other thing is, I seem to be doing this scramble for calendars every issue.
Yeah.
And the two contact the two churches again, but I just wish they'd send in the cotton picking.
Yeah. So what I did was I sent a blast out yesterday to everybody for content, and I basically said that they have to the beginning of the month, because I know with last issue we got severely delayed because, like you said, we were waiting to hear back. So my thought was, let's see where we're at come next week, and then at least we'll know how much content we have left to fill, and we make as complete a calendar as we can, because I don't want somebody holding up the Powder House because we can't get a response.
Oh no.
So, and that was,
I wish they were more on the ball with that stuff.
We do have a continued list of vacancies for the town positions for boards and committees. That'll be in there. I did send Lori some information about the real IDs, because that does flip over. So if you were to travel within the US, you need a real ID, you know, that ID with like the star on it.
Yeah.
Starting in May, or else you would need to have another form of identification to use.
That's kind of old hat. I mean, I would think everybody's done that.
But not everybody has. And so again, like, they want to get the word out there now, because the flip over really is going to be that federally come May. That's the cutoff.
That's a good one.
There is some information too about, I was looking into some information as well about, I know our CAP had some stuff about well water, and just, you know, information out about is that. And so that's just kind of like the baseline to start. And then also, again, Medicare enrollment with Shine, because open enrollment is going to start October 15th. So we'll have a reminder for that as well.
I should know, remind me what RCAP is.
RCAP Solutions does work. They help people with housing. They're really housing focused. So they are a nonprofit, and they work like, if, say, for example, people need housing vouchers, Section 8, if they need help with getting like first-time home buyers, there's classes so that you can learn how to properly manage your house. If people need renters assistance or like emergency funding, they're kind of it for us in the area.
I wonder if that's the same outfit that we were looking at from Northbrook One about managing the property. I don't know if that's a separate entity with the same.
I don't know. I mean, they're a nonprofit. They're a nonprofit, I believe. So I don't know if they would be able to do that, but.
No, we have somebody now. But I'm just
thinking
the name sounds so familiar. It must have somehow related to that.
So, yeah.
All right. And as for 5Ws, anybody have some brilliant inspiration? Some place or issue or thing in town, about the town, whatever, that we haven't taken aim at? We did the Powder House.
I mean, town offices, how they used to be the school building. I don't know if we ever did that.
Yeah, I was on that town building needs study committee when they were discussing various things, and I got shot down. I said they ought to take the old school and make it into the town offices. And, oh, no. Okay. Guess what? Okay. Anyway, we won't go there. So if anybody has a clever input to do town offices, why not? Town offices.
I still can't get Pat back on the line. So we can't technically vote on anything. But
okay, we won't vote to put that article in the paper then. We'll just sneak it in.
But what we can do is just kind of like some additional like FYIs going forward. I am hopefully going to be trained in Shine counseling for the fall. I attended a meeting last week, and they're starting a round of Shine training. So hopefully that will happen. Let's see. And if that's the case, we'll have Shine coverage for open enrollment, which will be good.
Great.
I know that it's going to be a challenge, as it always is. We are working to try to get a info session on strokes, teaming up with Neshoba Boards of Health, hopefully for sometime in September. It was a request that was made by a town resident, so we're doing what we can to make that happen. Something to think about is that there was a gentleman who approached me a couple months ago, and he does this thing where it's basically he will play like a silent movie, and he puts music to it himself, like live music to it. So again, I'll send you guys out the information on it. It's just something to consider. His prices didn't seem too unreasonable, but if it's something that we wanted to try, we can. I had met with Scott Hawkins a few months ago about, potentially using the Mosaic Kitchen, community kitchen. We can, if you guys wanted to, we can look into potentially doing some cooking classes in the fall there. And something else to think about too was another round of grab and go, because I would think come fall where people will start to be home more. So
yeah, let's put that on the fire. Has anybody got a suggested month to bring that off? Should be after school starts, so people aren't all
maybe October.
Sounds good. I can email them and just see what their availability is just for the month of, see if they have any big commitments already booked for October, because it's still, I know, wedding season. So
yeah, a lot of catch up on wedding stuff, wedding catering going on now because of the COVID tamp down on all of that. Yeah, so sort of beam in on October, see how that works out. How are things going with the van, by the way?
Van is going okay. We're averaging about 3 days of rides a week so far. I've been talking to the drivers, and what I want to do, and I floated this idea by Crystal Olson over at Northbrook too, is start offering shuttles 1 to 2 days a week to either like Apex, Solomon Pond Mall, or potentially even Blackstone Valley shops, just to help get people out there. What we would do is we would probably focus more of the medical appointments on those 3 days. And then like on Mondays and Fridays, where we tend to not get many appointments, just have those be shuttle days. And that's what I'm thinking.
One thing that I had heard someplace that some of the folks would like to go to things that 19 Carter can't because they don't have rides, and maybe that's potential.
I mean, I think if we did the shuttle, for like the day that the shuttle is being designated, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we couldn't guarantee like a drop off and a pickup, but I mean, a drop off, I don't think would be an issue.
If you can only guarantee a drop off, then you'd also have to allow them to take along a cot so they could stay there overnight. Or not. Let's see. Oh, what is our capacity on the van now? And is it the same as other?
We've been having about 2 to 3 people in the van at a time. I would say for the shuttle, we probably could do 5, only because like we would still need to have the wheelchair port or that wheelchair mechanism still be available. And if you put all the seats in the van, you can't use it.
Well, yeah, but you're talking 10 in the van if you have the thing without the wheelchair capacity.
I mean, you can, it's just.
How hard is the wheelchair capacity option to install?
It's not hard. It's not ridiculous, no.
So, I mean, if you had a specific event and you had 10 people or 9 or whatever who wanted to go, you could do, and you knew that no one needing a wheelchair was asking, you could do that. If we knew, I mean, if we had a specific thing, say, and that no one would need it, then
it's
yes.
Kate. Pat? Sorry.
Better?
It's Kate from the meeting.
So yeah. We could, it's just sometimes we've gotten a mixed group where some people need the lift in, and we don't necessarily always know. So I get a little leery just because I don't want someone who may or may not need it to then not be able to use. But I mean, I think if we knew enough at a time. Yay, good job, Kate.
Welcome back, Pat. She's not speaking, but I'm glad she's with us. Let's see.
You can hear them, right, Pat?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I've had a thought going through my head. I mentioned it to Paul McKelk of the Health Board, and I was at a History Matters lecture at 19 Carter just before this meeting, and a man was doing a very interesting presentation on Boston and its historic neighborhoods and how it's changed and so on and so forth. And at the end, he had a map that was very interesting, and it showed different scenarios that could be harmful to the health of Bostonians in the future. One is heat, increasing heat issues, which potentially can kill more people than most of the diseases going around now in an urban setting. Another is rising sea levels. Doesn't affect Berlin particularly, unless it's a really big rise. And the other is probably cold. And my thinking had to do with hot-cold issues. How many people in Berlin who are vulnerable, either because of age or income, face life-affecting issues because of excessive heat, who can't afford air conditioning? How many people in a different season have the same issues because of inability to afford sufficient heating oil or wood or whatever they heat by?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think the community needs assessment that UMass Boston is going to do is going to hit on that, because we have the contract, I believe, has been signed and sent over to them. And when that questionnaire goes out in the beginning of next year, I believe it's also going to factor in, about like, how are you feeling with the costs of everything now? Is it tight? Like I had asked the select board, I said, it may be even worth having a question in there. Like, if say like your taxes went up $1 or $2 per 1,000, how much is that going to impact you? Because I do think that we have a lot of people in Berlin who are doing well, and that's fabulous. But I also think we have a lot of people who are really on the cusp of not being able to make it. And we've been having increased calls. I know the food pantry's been getting more and more people as well.
I guess proactively, I'd be interested to know if we know specifically who falls into those worrisome categories.
Did anybody have issues last week with the heat?
Well, I was lying here in a pool of sweat, but that's because I'm stupid and go out and work in the sun and pull weeds. But thinking, if that were my situation and I didn't have either a hefty fan or an air conditioner to seek relief in, well, how would that affect my health? And there are some people who they don't have to go out and weed to get overcome by heat. They can be in their houses, and if they're not properly ventilated, heated, or cooled, can run into those same problems. So I'm just trying to figure how we might help, or help collaboratively with the Board of Health, with Neshoba Associated, with the Housing Committee.
I mean, is there anything that you would be looking to do, like helping people get like
I'd like to see if there are funding sources for people who need it to get, say, an air conditioner. A precursor to which would be to have somebody assess their house electrical system to make sure they could plug in an air conditioner, because we wouldn't want to be the good Samaritan who gives them an air conditioner and then burns the house down because the electrical system can't handle it.
I mean, the monthly bill that they get at the end of running it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, fuel assistance, I know will help with the heat stuff. And then if there's ever any concern about the electrical side of it, in terms of like the electric bills, if people were to call the electric company, most people will do some kind of payment plan, because you're not supposed to be able to turn off electricity in the summer or the winter, because it's just huge. Exactly. The risk is just too high. In terms of like helping people, I think like trying to help people like, get access to that stuff is great. In terms of like determining if their dwelling is appropriate for it, that's way above us. And that's going to be way above Board of Health too, because it's like that an electrician is the only person who can determine that. But I do think if we can, kind of guide people to, hey, like, even if it's something simple, like, here's, if we come across any, free donated stuff, I mean, we can certainly help out with that.
Yeah, but I think there must be programs that are more comprehensive in their thinking about this, and who, I'm sure there's a government program someplace that says if heat is an issue and affordability is what traps people in unhealthy situations, then this program X, Y, or Z has capacity to help them find funding or equipment or assessment of electrical situation, whatever.
Right. I mean,
somebody who knows this stuff.
The only other way really could be too is like doing a mass save audit. Like, I know that the state has that energy audit. It's free, but you would have to have like a home as opposed to like being like an apartment dweller. But like they would come out and they would do a free energy audit, and they could let you know of like if there's, holes in your house or something like that, that would like let hot air in or let cool air in, things like that. It would help, they could help to, seal that out to make your home more efficient. That's free. That I do know.
Okay, so that is, we've had that done, and that doesn't deal with getting you an air conditioner. It may tell you how the heat's getting in, or the heat's getting out in the wintertime.
What about the Central Mass Planning Committee that was part that workshop? They'll be coming around again to kind of get a feel for what the needs are in the area, because supposedly there's money available from the state if we can really identify what the true needs are in our community. I would
also say too, I mean, I can certainly reach out to like RCAP Solution too, and like the Central Mass Agency on Aging, and see if they are aware of anything. I know, like I said, I know the focus is more so on fuel and heat for winter as opposed to cooling in the summer. That's usually tend to be where it focuses.
How about Mass Councils on Aging, MCOA?
I haven't seen anything as of yet.
Well, maybe we need to be the canary in the cage and say, here's an issue that we feel is there, and
I think so.
Tell us who to contact.
The thing is, though, I think I get where you're going. I think once we have that UMass Boston survey, though, we'll have then the data to prove, okay, we have 80 houses or whatever that need this. They are underserved, because then we'll have the data to back it up. Right now, we're kind of guessing. Like, we know that like certain people don't have it, but we don't have any concrete numbers. So like, we're kind of guessing now.
So you say this is a survey that's coming up at the beginning of next year?
Mm-hmm. And it's really, it's for anybody 18 and older in town.
Who in town is meshing or interacting with them?
UMass Boston, they're doing the entire survey. So they're going to be,
they're doing the survey, but I'm saying who in town are they working through?
Select board. And I'm one of the middlemen.
Okay. So the state agency is what?
For what?
UMass Boston?
Yeah. So they're doing a community needs assessment for Berlin. Whole gamut, everything. And then that should tell us, okay, here's where we're at. And they've worked with several other towns in the past, so they know like how to get people to respond. And my thought is too, is that because it won't be done by like the Council on Aging or Berlin Housing or anything like that, people will be more free to be vocal, because they'll be more anonymity per se.
I'm not worried about their confidentiality being breached or something. Yeah.
Because we're only going to get the end results of the data. We're not going to be, collecting it and, putting it in. We're only going to get the end results.
Well, it sounds like a very good article for the Powderhouse News when enough material is gathered and opinions formed about how to deal with problems that they find.
And I think that what I was thinking of doing is towards the end of the year, putting in a blurb for the Powderhouse, so that way people know, hey, be on the lookout for this. Boom, 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 boom.
Do we have a be on the lookout section?
We could put one.
We should do that. Yeah. That's perfect.
On the lookout.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, at the top
or on the horizon or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top of it could have a couple of eyeballs with a little pupil looking in one direction.
Are you going to be our illustrator, Bob?
Well, I don't know if I'm that much on the eyeball.
Just
let's
don't do an
see.
actual eyeball. Like do like, you know, like a drawing of an eyeball, not like an actual eyeball.
That's true. With all, well.
Like I don't
we'll
want
see
the
if-
veins or anything like that. Yeah.
I think we should turn it over to the school so the pupils
Halloween
can
eyeballs.
deal with this.
There you go. How
Anyway,
cornea.
We digress.
yeah, right. Cornea humor you never heard. Okay.
Bob digress.
What else have we got for issues that we should be proactive on?
On the horizon as
feeling-
well, for the switch over to the powder house from LPI to Clinton Offset. I'm thinking in the fall, we'll have to start our marketing campaign to
Yes.
basically recruit the average. Doing it too early, I don't think it's going to be worth it. But I think if we start come fall, we'll be able to get the ground running and get some people lined up to help with sponsorship.
Well, between now and then, so that we do hit the ground running, we should probably make a list of potential people to schmooze.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think we'll be able to do it. I don't foresee there really being too many issues or anything like that. I think what we can do too is I'll reach out to Clinton Offset this week as well and start to see if we can get some information about how much like advertising would be, like, you know, like small square is this much, bigger square is this much.
Yeah. I mean, judging by our past edition,
good.
we
Just
haven't
checking on
really
you.
had that many people.
I'm here.
Mhm.
That many people found advertising.
Right. And again, I think that too is, I know that LPI occurred before pandemic, and then pandemic hit and they couldn't really expand or do what they wanted to do. So I think, you know, again, it's going to be a local business helping out a local council on aging. I think people will be more into it.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree with you, but I also think they handed us a bit of a line. I think it was some internal shuffling of personnel there that caused that ball to get dropped, because we gave them a big list and they never did a thing with it that I could tell.
So,
but I think if we're doing it, there's, you know, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. I don't either.
Okay, so we're talking about possibly doing a grab and go in October. And Victoria, you're talking with Chef Boyardee, Magic Chef, whatever, whoever that is.
Yep. And I will confirm. I know when I had asked the chefs over at Chef du Jour previously if they would do a cooking class, they said that they had done it in the past. I can just confirm that because, again, I know they're until probably like October, November, they'll be busy with weddings. So it may be something, if we wanted to do, it'd be more like fall, winter time, but I can always ask and just kind of see how much money it would be and things like that.
That would be a fun thing to draw somebody out.
What was that?
Sorry.
No, go ahead,
Bob.
No.
I was just saying, I think that would be a fun thing to draw people out as it's getting colder and.
Yeah.
And then what we could do too is I'll definitely ask them and just see how much, you know, how much lead time they would need, and then I'll confirm with Scott kind of the capacity at Mosaic. I would think that probably like 10, 12 people could probably fit in because they have a decent sized community kitchen. It looks like maybe 10, 12 people could do, you know, so something to think about.
Maybe we could use the people at Mosaic as guinea pigs, so we'll prepare a meal and see if anybody dies.
Well, on that cheery note.
All right.
Yeah, while we have Pat, let's vote on things.
Okay, do we need to vote to make that, establish that as a goal, is to have a grab and go in October?
Okay, we can, if you guys would like.
All right. So do I hear a motion to have a grab and go meal up and running by October?
I'll make a motion to have a grab and go meal at some point this fall. Keep it.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
Hey, all in favor, Karen Schultz,
Aye.
Kate Bliss,
Aye.
Pat Wheeler,
Aye.
Bob Blair, aye. It's unanimous. Very good. This is the second meeting we've had where, well, this meeting, at least we had a quorum. Last meeting, we didn't even have that, but should we, for future reference, think about not having summer meetings, or was that just a fluke that we had a really small turnout last meeting?
I will leave that up to you guys. I mean, I know that there are other agency or, other councils that have like reduced hours in the summer and things like that. So it's really going to be up to you guys. We could even do like a one meeting per summer months or something like that. I'll leave it up to you. Because I know it's a very busy time especially for families.
I know when I first joined, we did not meet in the summer.
So the last meeting would have been when? June?
It was June.
And then you skipped July, August, and went back in September?
Yeah. Yeah, Pat, you were here then. Yeah.
Okay, what's the consensus of the 4 attendees? We should do that, skip the August meeting.
Skipping it, and then if something urgent comes up, we could always email, right, about a special meeting or something.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
Because it does stink to have, people keep it on their calendars, keep the time free, and then not have a quorum.
Yeah. So is there a motion specific to not meeting for July and August going forward, or just August, or what's, somebody make a proposal here?
I make a proposal, we consider not meeting in July and August and this going forward.
So that would take also effect for this coming month as well, correct? Starting in August of 22.
Can we do that?
Do we need to have all the members?
I'm just wondering, I mean, who are we missing? Just Lori?
And
Rachel. And, oh, is Wes still officially a member?
He's still officially a member.
Oh.
But yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, I think you had sent a letter, and he's so convinced that he's going to be able to come back to Berlin that he doesn't want to sign a letter saying he gives up membership on the Council on Aging.
So, yep.
So if, we could just say next year.
Okay.
Or we could do this year.
The look on your face was like, not have one next month.
If we were to have one next month, it would be scheduled for August 30th.
I'm pretty sure.
And I believe school, and I think schools start the 29th, like right around then. So it's back to school time. So
pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
All right. So
parents of school age kids.
So you want to make the motion that it's July, August, starting this year, that we suspend monthly meetings?
I would like to make a motion that we suspend monthly meetings in July and August going forward.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Do I hear
we have an emergency.
Right. And well,
what we can do is, if that's the case, I'll send out an email and we'll book out a date on a Tuesday afternoon, like a Tuesday at 4. It doesn't have to be the last Tuesday of the month, but we'll book a meeting Tuesday at 4, and we'll give a week or two notice.
right.
And listen,
we'll follow the protocol and we'll just do a special meeting.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, so the motion is to suspend July, August meetings starting this year and going forward. Do I hear a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor: Karen Schultz,
Aye.
Kate Bliss,
Aye.
Pat Wheeler,
Aye.
Bob Blair, aye.
Hey, I didn't answer.
So
did I say Kate Bliss?
Yeah, but Pat said I then.
there was 2 ayes from Pat. So
Hey.
we're good.
Well,
Pat is really excited about this motion.
I hope we're all seeing this with 2 eyes. So we're good then. Does anybody have any other?
Yep. So just
Go
a
ahead.
heads up to you guys, then the next meeting would be, if we skip August, would be September 27th. Unless we moved forward for whatever reason, like a special meeting or something. But the next scheduled meeting will be September 27th.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody have any other new business? Any old business? Any in between new and old business?
How about that My Senior Center thing quickly?
So we still have a My Senior Center account open. We've only really had one class this summer and it's been Tai Chi. It is something that we can certainly talk about in the fall if we think it's going to be useful. We have one scanner and I think about 500 keys that, like, basically it's a scanner that like your rewards cards with anything else that people would have to be scanned in to use for that. If we wanted to do like the reverse, like there is like some tracking on it, some you can do like reverse 911 calls, you can do stuff like that. Code Red covers part of it already. If it is something that we desperately want to use, I mean, I'm fine with us trying to use it. I don't honestly know if we really need it at this point in time, but we own it for now. So I'll leave it up to you guys. It's something to ponder. I would think that if we are able to get more activities going, I think it is then worth using, because we should be resuming yoga hopefully before end of summer, because our instructor is on her mend. We still will have Tai Chi. We have classes. Like I think it'll be more justifiable and easier to have people to use. But I mean, I will leave it up to you guys at this point.
We're waiting for word balloons to float from people's mouths. Very well. Do we hear any other?
Oh, I do have some other business for you. And this will need a vote. Mass Council on Aging dues is $265. I will put that on for next expenses. And then Mock is asking for her $200 donation for the year. Are you guys in agreement with that?
I'm sorry, my battery's almost
No, it's
dead.
okay. A Mass Council on Aging for the annual dues is $265. And then the Mock that does our Meals on Wheels has a suggested donation for Councils on Aging of $200.
Motion in favor of meeting those two expenses.
I'll make a motion.
I'll
Do we hear a second? All right, all those in favor? Karen Schultz.
Aye.
Kate Bliss.
Aye.
Pat Wheeler. Patricia.
Pat.
Aye.
Bob Blair, aye. So
Perfect.
unanimously
They'll be
approved.
in the bill schedule for Friday.
Yeah, and just a quickie report. They had far too many hot meals this morning. I just distributed them up among the people we have. We just lost a couple of people from the list. I don't think they shorted the delivery on anything this morning. They overed on a few things, but not the frozens and cold for some reason. But
Okay.
so it's an ever fluctuating deal. They finally seem to have ironed out their weekly mess ups. Yeah, maybe both hands, all four crossable fingers. So we'll see how it goes. Not that we have any alternative, but sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. All right, anybody, anything new? All right, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Kate, you're muted.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And Karen seconded it. So all those in favor, Karen Schultz.
Aye.
Kate Bliss.
Aye.
Pat Wheeler.
Aye.
Bob Blair, aye.